Welcome to Bison Overtime, everybody. I'm Grant Hubbard alongside Ethan Eibach, and I promised at the end of last episode there'd be some Bison football news. Oh yeah, there's more coming today. Let's start with the three transfers that went in today. Again, it's Wednesday night. We're taping this. Three guys went in today. Enoch Sibomano went in, Shamar Brown went in, and Nate Forstek went in. So your starting linebacker, your stud freshman tailback, and your fourth-string tight end have all left into the portal. But compared to what everybody else has gone through, what the Bison went through is not as bad.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but again, Montana State lost their tight end, their best receiver.
Running back.
Yeah, the best running back. Their quarterback is gone now, not transferred, but then South Dakota lost pretty much everybody you can think of. SDSU lost about everybody, so this is still the number one team, but I think the gap is has shrunk a bit. And these are probably not the only guys that are going to enter the portal, so we probably have to brace ourselves.
Yes, but you wrote in our notes here, they're still number one by a lot.
Yeah.
But it shows how watered down the FCS is becoming. I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of, I used to be a guy who was on the fence about if I wanted the Bison to move up to FBS, and obviously they can't control it yet, but right now I am pro FBS by a long shot.
Yeah, again, I'm on the fence where, you know what, if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that too. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It's not going to sway NIL that much.
No.
It's not going to sway recruiting. It's just a matter of a letter difference for me.
Yeah, it's not about, because the transfer portal affects everybody. It's not going to be that. It's more the fact of like the gap between the 1 through 4 and then 5 through 25 in the FCS right now. It's like it's pretty bad.
Yeah, among other things. Ethan mentioned South Dakota. They were supposed to return 4 of 5 offensive line starters from last year. They now return 1. The list of players alone. Quarren Adams, our number one now, who would be the number one receiver this year, he's in the portal. And then 3 offensive linemen: Jordan Larson, Bryce Henderson, Joe Cotton. 3 starters, all in the transfer portal. Mike East Grace, again, these names we've already talked about. Mike East Grace is off to Kentucky. Gary Bryant Jr., leading tackle, is in the portal. Hayden Erickson, a backup tight end, who probably could have fought for the starting job because J.J. Galbraith graduated. He's in the portal. And then Josh Larson, the other offensive lineman, is also in the portal. So I don't know how to judge South Dakota. We thought they'd be the definite number 2 behind the Bison. That gap has gotten bigger now.
Yeah, I think I said a couple weeks ago I thought South Dakota was the clear number 2 and the biggest test of the Bison. Now I have no idea who's 2, who's 3, who's 4. It's still a Bison at 1, like I said, but South Dakota, the only thing that keeps them at 2 really for me is they still have their quarterback, and Charles Pierre Jr. is still there. Yeah,
again, no more Travis Tice.
No.
Don't worry about tackling him anymore. Carter Bell. Yeah, he was a nuisance as well. But there is no definite number 2 team right now. I mean, if you're debating who number 1 is, you're full of yourself. If you don't think the Bison, again, I get it. We're wearing NDSU stuff. We have the green and gold color glasses on. I get it. But to me, and from what I've seen, this team looks like the best team in the country. I haven't seen South Dakota State spring ball. I haven't seen South Dakota UND. We just know that this, as of right now, is the defending champion, and you are as such until dethroned.
And another thing about Marty Brown leaving, it's like the Bison don't run the ball as much as they did 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
So until we start losing, cross your fingers, like Bryce Lance or Mekhi Collins, which hopefully doesn't happen, but I still just think this team...
They'll put that into the ethos if it doesn't work out well.
This offense is still going to be really good, I think.
And again, it's more because Tim Polasek wants the stable. He doesn't want the bell cow. He wants a bell cow if he can get one, but he wants the stable, right? It's a multitude of horses, not just one, right? So to help out with the running backs, they bring in Tucker Tiedemann, a offensive lineman from Wisconsin. You don't see a guy, he's a 3-star offensive lineman, big whoop. No. This guy's got Power 4 offers from Ole Miss. That's where Eli Manning went to school. Florida, I think we all know what school Florida is. They won a basketball championship. Maryland, SVP University, and Missouri. That's SEC, Big Ten, SEC. I think, again, Tim Polasek from Wisconsin. He's a Wisconsin guy. This is a big win for Tim.
Yeah, he loves his offensive linemen, and obviously you lose the running back, but if you keep building your O-line, it doesn't matter who's carrying the ball because they'll have 5 yards of carry if they keep recruiting like this, which they have the last 2 years.
I think they'll be okay on the offensive line. Right?
I think so.
It's never a position we have to worry about anyway, but you get a kid like this, man, that's something we should keep an eye out for the next couple years with Tucker coming to town. This is an interesting topic that we heard about a couple days ago. This has been forming for a while, but now it's coming to fruition. The Missouri Valley Football Conference and the Summit League, they're not merging, but they're entering into a sort of partnership where the Summit League will now be involved in Missouri Valley Football Conference decision making and movement among the teams. They're going to be very intertwined in decisions going forward. An interesting thing as well, the Missouri Valley Football Conference commissioner, Patty Viverino, she just retired. Josh Fenton is a Summit League commissioner. There's no news on this, but I think we can not assume, but just look forward to Josh Fenton more than likely becoming the commissioner of both leagues now, which would make sense. But this also leads to a couple different things as well. For one, a move that I know my buddy Don Mizzo at WDY is now looking forward to, St. Thomas potentially joining the Missouri Valley Football Conference. What do you think about that?
I mean, 3 years ago or 2 years ago or whatever, I probably could have told you that that's probably going to happen because it just makes too much sense. They're that close, and they're already really good at basketball and every other sport. Why can't they be good at football? And it's a great place to recruit, too.
And they're in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
So it's an obvious point of destination for the league to be in. Again, St. Thomas is in the Pioneer Football League right now, which is non-scholarship. It's St. Thomas. They have money. Drake has money as well, but they're not factoring into this. But if you're St. Thomas, this makes perfect sense because then you pour money into that team. You're in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. You could get good at football like that if you decide to go into the Valley, because it's a part of the contract as far as when I was reading about this, is if this happens, all schools in the Summit League that play football are required to join the Missouri Valley Football Conference. So St. Thomas would be in, and oh, by the way, your season finale includes the Tommies and the Bison in Fargo. So we'll see our first taste of St. Thomas. So it's an interesting aspect of what's coming in the Summit League in the Valley.
Yeah, and you've seen like the Bison have kind of dominated that Minneapolis region, and the Gophers are a big school, so they're going to branch out.
Yep.
St. Thomas is a chance to get those guys that Minnesota overlooks, maybe NDSU overlooks.
Yeah.
Maybe the small town Minnesota guys. But I mean, like you said, they can get good at football really fast in that area.
Another part about this partnership, the Summit League has been looking to expand for a long time. Again, they've lost Western Illinois. It's a very small conglomerate of teams now. Yeah. Again, only 9 teams. That's nowhere near enough. Mm-hmm. So they've been looking to the great state of Utah to try to find new schools. So 3 schools that have been brought up in discussion. Southern Utah, the Thunderbirds, Utah Tech, and Utah Valley. I don't know how good those schools are at basketball, but again, it's not about how good they are. They just need teams right now. And those 3 are the logical options right now.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about the Utah schools really at all. I know that they haven't really been great at sports. So, but yeah, if you can get more teams in the conference, why not?
You don't know about Southern Utah. They won a Big Sky title back in 2017, then left the conference a couple years later. So I don't know what in the heck is going on with the Utah schools. But again, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that and then what updates come in the next couple of months on that. Again, we love talking about UND on this show for some reason. So Trace Eagle's staff, he committed to South Carolina. He left UND in the portal to go to South Carolina. He's now back in the portal. For what? I don't know. But he's back in the portal and is exploring new options.
It's, college basketball. The transfer portal, if you think it's bad in football, it's way worse in basketball. Guys going in and out like it's nothing. And, I mean, what more could you look for? You're already at an SEC school.
Yep.
You must have really gotten a better offer or something. I don't know. It's really confusing. But, yeah, he's obviously a Power 4 player, and we'll see where he ends up.
Maybe he pulls a Schiller and comes up here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much money the Green and Gold Collective has for Mr. Eagle staff, but maybe. Who knows? Today, we talked about this a little bit last week. Tim Bergstrasser, the former MSUM head coach, he is now joining the Summit League as the new Denver head coach. Now, great hire by Denver. Mm-hmm. We rumored that it might happen on our April Fool's edition. Wink, wink. But no, in all seriousness, Tim Bergstrasser, he's a great head coach. Won over 70 games in 3 seasons at MSUM. He's taken a couple of his players, Wendell Carson Johnson, Jameer Price, are coming over from MSUM. The challenge is it's Denver. And Denver has been the worst basketball school in the Summit League. They went to the title game last year. That's because they have the nation's leading scorer in Tommy Bruner. They have none of that. DeAndre Craig, their best player, left for what? What do they call IPFW now? Is it just Purdue Fort Wayne? Is that what they call themselves now?
Like
anyways, he's headed over there, a former Summit League school. I don't understand that part of it, but this is a great move by Denver to get Bergstrasser.
Yeah, I think they can get out of that kind of bottom of the barrel of the Summit League fast with him because obviously he's going to bring some really good Moorhead players with
Yeah.
him, and with the state that the Summit League is in right now, you can go on a run and win the title because there's no really good like Oral Roberts team or NDSU. It's year by year in the Summit League.
The Summit League is it's such a revolving door nowadays anyway. You just don't know who the best team is year by year. We thought it was South Dakota State. Well, maybe it's St. Thomas. Maybe it's Oral Roberts. Maybe when Kansas City was the preseason pick and they were 8th.
Yeah.
So who knows?
It's a farm system, really.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Oh, that's no question.
Yeah.
NBA playoffs are in full swing now, and the Timberwolves made the playoffs, believe it or not. They're in the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year. They backed their way into the playoffs almost losing to a Utah team that has, 17 wins and is in the hunt for Cooper Flag. Instead, the Wolves managed to hold on and win. Anthony Edwards becomes the 3-point single-season leader with 320 made threes. The reward is to face the Lakers in La La Land, led by LeBron and Luka. What do we make of this series?
It's going to be really tough, I think. But the thing about the Wolves is if they're playing a team that's bottom of the conference, they're going to play down to them.
Yes.
If they're playing who's number 1, they're going to play up to them. So
Yep.
it's just about consistency. And in the NBA playoffs, it's a 7-game series, so it's kind of a test to how in shape you are because, the NBA, they don't really try in the regular season.
Correct.
So it's so hard to predict, but I think it's going to be it's going to go to at least 6 games in my mind. It's going to be a good series.
When you look at the Wolves and the Lakers, they played their 4 games earlier in the regular season before Luka became a Laker. So you can pretty much throw those 4 games out the window because they don't mean anything. I mean, the Lakers and Wolves met on opening night in Los Angeles. It was Julius Randle's first game. There was a lot of stuff going around that game. But again, you talked about it. I think they split with the Thunder, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
They played well against Houston. I think they won 1 game, but they played pretty well. They swept the Nuggets. They played pretty well against the Clippers. They were pretty good against Golden State. I mean, in Memphis, they beat the crap out of Memphis to get into this spot. But again, it's so hard to pick on the Wolves because you just don't know what they're going to give you on a night-to-night basis. They could either win by 20 on the road against a good Memphis team or blow a 27-point lead in Milwaukee. So I don't know what we're going to get from Minnesota, but the playoff field is almost set. Golden State won last night against Memphis, so they're the 7th seed against Houston. The 8th seed is yet to be determined. It's Memphis. They're the 8th seed as of right now. They play a play-in game tomorrow night against, I think it's Friday night, against either the Kings or the Mavericks. Shocker, the Mavericks went from, NBA Finals to 10 seed all of a sudden. So they'll go at it. On the Eastern Conference side, the Orlando Magic are the 7th seed. They beat the Atlanta Hawks last night, so they'll be the 7th spot. And then the 8th seed yet to be determined, Atlanta will face the winner of Chicago and Miami for the 8th spot. Who do we like? I don't know what we're going to do for predictions, but who is your favorite? Who do you like so far?
Yeah, I filled out one of those brackets online, but I had the Thunder winning it all.
Okay.
I did have the Wolves winning first round, but losing second. I just think they have a really tough road.
Yeah.
Being the 6th seed, I mean, you play the 3 seed, who's one of the top teams in the conference, and then you got to play the 2 seed. So
Yeah.
And if you win that, you're going to play a 1. So it's a really tough spot to be. I don't know if they're going to be able to get through unless Anthony Edwards drops 40 a game or something.
That's what it might take.
Yeah.
Just looking at it a little more as I'm looking at it right in front of me. Could they get out of the first round? I don't see why not. It's LeBron, and I hate going against him.
Yeah.
I like watching him. I just don't want to go against him under any circumstances. So I don't like their chances. I don't think they're winning this first round series. It'd be a good series to watch. I don't think they're going to win it. No. But if the Lakers win this series, I think they're going to the conference finals.
Yeah.
I like them more than no offense to Houston. They've had a great year. They've been building towards a season like this for a while now. They're just not a team that I look at and go, yeah, that team could make the Western Conference Finals. They're the 2 seed in record only. I don't think they deserve a 2 seed at all. I like Houston against OKC in the conference finals, and I like the Thunder coming out of the West. Which I don't want the Thunder to win the West. I think they've been the best. And then on the Eastern Conference side, Cleveland has just gone through everybody this year. 64-18 record. They've dominated every aspect of their games this year. They have a road to the finals that looks pretty easy for them. They would get the winner of Indiana and Milwaukee. Damian Lillard's not playing. He has blood clots, so dangerous things. Don't want to mess with those. So he's likely out for this entire first-round series. Or Indiana, who made the conference finals last year, but they didn't really impress anybody in the back half of this year. You got the Knicks in there, the other half of the Cat trade. They've been okay. They were not as good as they were last year. They face a Pistons team that makes the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, I want to say. They haven't won a playoff game since I want to say like 2008 or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you got Orlando and Boston. It's Boston. They'll probably sweep Orlando.
Yeah, I had Boston going all the way to the finals, beating the Cavs. I just think Celtics and the Thunder are in the class of their own this year.
Yeah.
The Lakers, actually had the Lakers beating the Wolves. I was wrong, but I think the Lakers are just too deep. But yeah,
yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I'd probably go Thunder and Celtics, and we'll see. I'll go Thunder Celtics on my half.
Yeah.
Something just tells me Boston's going to turn it on, and they're going to play really well in the playoffs. I like Boston to beat OKC, so I'd probably go with Boston as my champion, but it'll be a crazy play. I mean, the Western Conference itself is a bloodbath, so we'll see what happens there. A couple quick notes before we sign off. Roy McIlroy won the Masters. We had our Champions Dinner menus last week if you want to watch that. It was rather entertaining. Roy McIlroy wins the Masters. He completes the career Grand Slam. I think he's only the sixth golfer to do that. He had a heck of a final round. Didn't start great. Didn't finish great. But he won a playoff hole against Justin Rose to win the Masters. He's got a putt on 18. 6-footer. I think that's a putt you and I wouldn't have made.
Yeah.
But stand over a 6-footer. Got a shot to lock it up. Misses it. I think it was wide right. He missed it. He's against Justin Rose in the playoff, who lost a playoff in the Masters, I think in 2017. He finished second on a playoff hole. He finished as runner-up again. But again, the Masters is just one of those tournaments that you just have to sit down and watch. And to see Rory win it was just fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not a huge golf watcher, but yeah, I definitely watched the Masters, and yeah, that was pretty entertaining at the end.
To say the least. Yeah. So, again, the release of emotion on 18. Again, those pictures you saw that were taken by, of all people, Ken Griffey Jr., those pictures that he took and of all the videos, it's just good for Rory and it's good for golf to see one of their favorite sons win a major, complete the Grand Slam. We want to close by addressing something from the University of Colorado. Now, again, Coach Prime and all that, the Bison went up there in late August and almost beat him. They have announced that Travis Hunter's number 12 and Shedeur Sanders' number 2 jerseys are being retired by the football program. Really?
I don't get it. Travis Hunter is one thing because he won the Heisman. Right. Shedeur Sanders, he's going to be a top 5 pick, okay?
Maybe.
The Bison have had 2 top 5 draft picks, and they didn't retire their numbers.
No. Shedeur Sanders went 13 and 12 in 2 seasons as a starter, and that's enough for. Should we anoint him of sainthood too while we're at it? I mean, he might be a saint, so that might work out. But I don't see it. Again, I wrote down a list. You won't be able to see it on your screen, but I wrote down a list of names, or of numbers rather, that should probably be retired. But the problem is with the Bison, if they retired numbers, it'd be like the rafters of the Boston Garden. You wouldn't have any room for numbers because everybody all be retired or taken. So I'm just going through a list. Number 1, Marcus Williams.
Yes.
Number 5, the Lance brothers. Both of them if you wanted to. Number 7, Cam Miller. Also for number 1, Bentram.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Number 10, Chris Simdorn, another Harlem Hill winning quarterback. Number 11, Carson Wentz. Number 12, Easton Stick. Number 16, Brock Jensen, or R.J. Urzendowski if you really wanted to name a receiver, but Brock. Darius Shepard, number 20, 23, John Crockett, 34, Grant Olson, number 40, Tyler Roll. I mean, there are just so many names and numbers that you could go through. Again, I'm trying to go through all of them if I can. Again, like Hunter Lipke, Kyle Emanuel, Mike Favor, Gray Zabel. There are just so many. Phil Hansen, Zach Braw. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. Longer than Colorado could when it comes to listing.
Yeah.
The only other number I could think of you could retire at Colorado is like Cordell Stewart or Rashawn Salam or guys who won a Heisman or in the NFL or whatever. I don't get Colorado for doing that.
If you had to retire one number from the Bison and you probably have to pick a quarterback, I think they would probably have done Carson Wentz because he was the number 2 overall pick.
Right.
But then again, the argument comes in, okay, Stick played 4 years, he went 49-3. Jensen won 3 titles. It's just impossible. And at the college level, you retire a number, that just complicates things down the road because you have 100 guys on your roster. It's like, 2 guys, 2 in 1 year. That's all Deion's deal. drama.
It's all look at me. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand it, why
No.
they're doing it. But again, it's Dion, and we're just going to let him have his way.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just the way it is. What do we think about the NFL draft? It's not listed. We
Yeah.
don't have it as a topic. We're going to talk about it anyway, just to try to fill time.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the NFL draft, who are the Vikings going to pick? Because we're Vikings fans, so,
Yeah.
sorry, you got to deal with it. If I was Minnesota, now again, Jalen Ramsey's a free agent. Are they going to sign him? Probably not. But we're allowed to dream.
Yeah.
So maybe that happens. But realistically, I think they go safety or they go Zabel.
I hope they go Zabel. That's the last O-line spot they could fill
Yeah.
at guard.
Yeah.
Other than that, offense, they're flawless almost.
Yeah.
Like, on paper, that is. But then on defense, they address the D-line. The linebackers are good. I hate when the Vikings draft corners because they always screw it up.
Yeah.
So I do hope they either go safety or Zabel.
It's like the Twins can't develop pitchers.
Yeah.
The Vikings can't develop corners. The last
Yes.
one that was any good was Xavier Rhodes, and we had like 3 years of
Yeah.
good cornerback play from a top corner. But
Mike Hughes was good for
bust.
about 2
He had
games.
one play
Yeah.
that was good. His
Yeah.
first career start.
Yes.
That was the one thing that was somewhat good. Just last thing. The NFL draft, they're moving the site around every year. Is ever going to be Minnesota's turn? They've done Chicago, they've done Detroit, they've done Green Bay. Can Minnesota get one? I'm just asking questions.
That would be really fun. I'm just waiting for the Super Bowl to come back.
That won't happen for another 2
Yeah,
years.
I don't think it will. I remember when I was down in Frisco, we heard a story about, okay, why haven't the Cowboys gotten the Super Bowl in so long? Because it snowed that week,
Yeah.
and
The
Jerry,
griping and everybody.
yeah, and good old Jerry didn't know how to deal with it, so it was just a terrible setup. Whereas Minnesota, we were prepared for it because it was February in
Minneapolis.
in Minneapolis, and it was freezing. So I hope it comes back.
It's all about snow when it comes to the Super Bowl. If
Yeah.
there's any chance of snow or bad weather, there's like, no. We cannot have it. It has to be in a warm weather. So Miami, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Atlanta.
San
all
Fran
over.
this year.
San Fran,
Yeah.
yeah. So they'll probably go back to Vegas at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Sure.
any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, the Twins won today finally.
They won a series
Yeah.
against the good team, too, in the
Yeah.
Mets. So I don't know. But, again, I'll do this like we did last week. I'm sure we'll have more Bison football talk to talk about. It'll be the spring. The spring game is next week. Their final open practice to the media is tomorrow. So I will be there to watch that. Or on Friday, I'll be there to watch that. But until then, thanks for watching the Bison Overtime Show, everybody. I'm Grant Hubbard. That's Ethan Nybach. Thanks for watching. This has been Bison Overtime.